This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle, an Odyssey station. Yeah. Steve, how about this? The Odyssey app, I hear you can get like these new curated stations. Like they're curated for people just like you, Steve.
Yeah, if you're like super nerdy, you just want to hear some like crazy fun metal music, you can take care of that. There's a station just solely for that. Or like Tailgate Rock, which is called Tailgate Rock. So that way, if you're in the room for some good times with the 4th of July barbecues, that's pretty awesome. And our very own Ryan Castle, BJ, he put together a station on Odyssey.
Did he really, Ryan? What did he do?
Yeah, I'll give you one guess.
Oh, no. Don't say it. He didn't do anything. It doesn't start with a Y. He didn't do that, did he?
That's right. You want to hear Hall & Oates? You want to hear Chicago, which I was listening to yesterday? You can listen to the Juggernaut Yacht Rock station.
Okay. I do like the name Juggernaut. That actually is pretty clever.
Come sail away on Odyssey.
Yeah. And there's a lot more, too. You can check out the Odyssey app today. That's where you can listen to us, of course. And you can listen to all these curated stations just for you. Download the Odyssey app, AUDACY, Odyssey.
Let's play Beat Mix. It's time to play the jam. Yeah. So everybody scream his name. Beat Mix. Don't be a loser. Whoa. Beat Mix. You're a loser.
It is time to beat mix. And it's time to turn down for Turtles. Oh, yeah.
Ride the turtle.
Hell yeah.
A lot of texters said they were able to stay cool yesterday with all the heat because they were wearing their Ride the Turtles t-shirt.
Oh, is that what they were saying, really?
It's a light color, which means it reflects the sun. It doesn't absorb those heat rays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Available at the Rock Shop, KSW.com.
Totally Turtle Tuesday.
I like turtles.
I like turtles, too.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, my son's officially dead to me.
Why is that?
Because he came over to the house and said he had a present for me, and then it was that.
Perfect.
I was so excited. I was hoping he'd bring me those new, Mod Pizza no-name cakes, the strawberry shortcake flavor, and I thought, he's coming over and he brought me. And no, it was the Ride the Turtle shirt.
Our friend Caesar sent me a picture of him enjoying one of those strawberry shortcake.
I know.
Cakes,
it looks good.
He said it was awesome.
I think Caesar's my new son. I'm adopting Caesar, and Joey Dees is on the outs.
Ooh. I mean, it's not a bad trade.
Yeah, I also am getting a player to be named later, so it should be pretty good.
At least he doesn't like the stupid Patriots. He likes the stupid Broncos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You know what? I'm unadopting Caesar. I forgot about that.
Well, let's get to our contestant today. We got Dan in Seattle. Dan, are you there?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, Steve, get out of here.
Goodbye.
Get out. For those playing at home, Dan will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Dan, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's go.
What was the name of Barney and Betty Rubble's adopted son on the Flintstones?
Bam Bam.
Yes. Princeton University is located in which East Coast state?
Vermont.
No.
Pass.
What kind of alcohol is typically in a Tom Collins?
Vodka.
No.
Gin.
Yes. Which actor starred as Buddy Holly in 78's The Buddy Holly Story?
Pass.
What is a group of locusts called?
A swarm.
No.
Pass.
What was the name of Sheldon's twin sister on The Big Bang Theory?
Pass.
Finish the title of the 2018 film A Wrinkle in What?
Time.
Yes. Dog mushing is the official sport of what state?
Can you repeat the question?
Dog mushing is the official sport of which state?
Texas.
No.
Utah.
No.
New York.
No. 1, 2, 3. Correct.
Come on, it was one of the great lines from Eucorn Cornelius.
Eucorn?
Yeah. Good. Yukon or Eucorn. Yukon Cornelius. He said it other time. Mush. And of course, the great snowy climate he was in. But
I don't know how much dog mushing happens in Texas, but you know what? I don't live in Texas, so I don't know.
I don't live in Texas because that's where all my exes are. So that's why.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Wonderful.
Hey, look who it is.
Hey, it's Steve.
Hello.
He's back.
Yeah, he is.
Quicker than a turtle.
Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Well, that's not hard to do.
I know, right?
It is for me.
Are you ready? Nice.
I like turtles.
What was the name of Barney and Betty Rubble's adopted son on the Flintstones?
Bam Bam.
Yes. Bam Bam. Princeton University is located in which East Coast state?
New Jersey.
Yes. What kind of alcohol is typically in a Tom Collins?
Vodka.
No.
Gin.
Yes. Which actor starred as Buddy Holly in 78's The Buddy Holly Story?
Oh, man. I kind of picture it. Oh, man. David Arquette.
No. Whoa, no.
Nicolas Cage.
No.
Greg Goldman.
No.
All right.
What is a group of locusts called?
A plague.
Yes. What is the name of Sheldon's twin sister on The Big Bang Theory?
Shelley.
No. That would have been a good one.
Penny.
Penny? No.
Penny.
Howard.
No. Finish the title of the 2018 film A Wrinkle in What?
My pants.
No. Time.
Wow.
Yes. Dog mushing is the official sport of what state?
Alaska.
Yes.
Yep.
In which decade was the Richter scale for earthquakes developed?
The 50s.
No.
40s.
No.
30s.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You win 7-3.
Oh, sorry, Dan. And there goes Dan.
And bye, Dan.
Oh, yeah. Down goes Frazier.
Yeah. You did very good there, Steve.
Thank you.
There's only 2 that you did not get correct. BJ, do you happen to know the name of Sheldon's twin sister on the Big Bang Theory?
I cannot remember, and I'd be so frustrated since I love that show.
Is it Missy?
It is Missy.
Oh, good job, Vic. Did
It
you
was
actually
like-
know that, or did you look it up?
No, it took me a sec. When he first said it the first time around, I couldn't get it, but it wasn't until when Steve went that I remembered.
Wow.
So it took me
Whoa.
a sec, but I got it.
That is, I didn't realize you watched the show that much.
I watched up until a certain point, and then I kind of fell off. So I need to get back on and finish.
And you still
the last
remember
few.
her name.
Yeah, I watched every episode. Yeah. Me neither, man.
My dad, I got him obsessed with it, so he's seen every episode. So I kind of get it from proxy.
I have a stupid question. I did not know this. Bam Bam was adopted?
Yes, Bam Bam was adopted.
I did not realize
I don't
that.
know if they ever showed that in the cartoon, but it was in that live action one with Rosie O'Donnell and what's his
John
name?
Goodman.
John Goodman. Yep.
Yeah, no, he was
I
adopted
forgot
in the
about
original
that.
cartoon as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
you know, it's and Vicky, you talk about like, you know, and you've said this before, like when you and your dad will watch movies and there's a Hispanic character in there, and you feel like finally somebody that looks like me, that is me,
Representation. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was what Bam Bam was for me, because as an adopted kid, you know, I used back in the 60s, man, you know, it was not cool for people to adopt because it meant you were a failure, which really is horrible, but that's what people were telling about. You couldn't have kids, you're a failure.
And that was the joke if you wanted to get under the skin of somebody, like, you were adopted. That was,
exactly.
That was the big insult.
So the representation of actually like Bam Bam being on one of my shows really was like, oh, cool. You know, I mean, at least there I'm being shown and the kids being loved. Like, you know, it it was really cool. And I forgot that about the Flintstones, Rev. So thank you. That brought back a memory I totally forgot I had.
Dude, that's actually pretty badass because Bam Bam was a badass character too. Like he was, he was tough. I mean, I wonder if that was like super. Obviously, it was intentional. Like, I wonder if somebody on the Flintstones that was writing for it was adopted and was like, you know what, I want to help change the opinion of how, or the outlook of people on adoption.
That would make sense, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, Steve, because I don't remember, because the Flintstones are based on the Honeymooners' old sitcom, and I don't know if it was anybody in the Honeymooners or whatever, because I don't think any of them had kids in the Honeymooners. So I think that you're right. I think it may be somebody or that was either close to them or themselves that were the creators that actually had that happen. I wouldn't be surprised.
The only other one you missed there was the actor that starred as Buddy Holly in 78's The Buddy Holly Story.
This is killing me because you're going to say it, and I'm going to go, of course.
Yes. Gary Busey.
Oh,
one of his.
I remember that.
One of his first
I don't
roles.
think I knew that.
Yeah. And happy birthday to Gary today.
Wow, Gary Busey.
Yeah.
Wow. Gary Busey.
Yeah. You can tell when you see the picture of him because it's iconically Gary Busey.
It's got the mouth.
Yeah, it's the teeth. Like it's
wow,
it's the
he's
lips
so young,
too,
man.
Yeah.
He is so young, man. I mean, it's like you'd almost have you think it's Jake, his kid.
Oh wow, yeah, right.
Yeah,
great star of what? Starship Troopers.
You just mentioned it was his birthday, and I completely spaced on it. I was going to mention it during the Migs Report. Today is also a very special day. It was 20 years ago today that one of the greatest movies of all time ever came out, BJ.
What a top.
Oh, really?
I'm a
wow, Pootie Tang.
Got my dillies on the pepper tank.
Okay, Steve, do you feel old?
Yes.
I mean, 20 years that's nuts.
7 time.
Wow.
Going to Biggie Shorty's party 20 years ago.
20 years ago was still in the 2000s.
I know.
I
know, Rev. It's not cool. I mean, it's nuts how long ago that is, and yet it feels like it was yesterday.
2001.
Damn.
Wow.
Yep, we're all old. Sorry.
Well, time to go back and rewatch that movie.
What a time.
Congratulations on your win, by the way, Steve.
Thank you very much.
Good job, Steve. We've talked a lot about food on this fine program pretty much all the time. And I don't know about the rest of you, but thanks to this fine quarantine and all this good stuff and also the heat wave, I feel like I'm just not able to get into my clothes like I used to. I was trying to get back on some sort of routine, and then this heat wave has basically just said, I'm going to stay in my house and do nothing. And
I guess just sweating on your couch doesn't count as really burning that many calories. You're just sweating.
It moves my little move ring on my watch every once in a while, though. Works for me.
Dude, I made the mistake yesterday. I was I had this, I wanted to play the drums, so I set up my electronic drums around my garage.
Oh, no.
My wife was going to a lake with little baby Tatum to see one of her friends, so I'm like, I got some time where I don't have to worry about anything. This is the time to do it.
Oh, nice.
Terrible idea. I went out there. I spent about an hour on those drums, just having fun in the garage. But there was a puddle of sweat around me. I was like, why did I do this?
Yeah,
I should have just taken a nap inside my house. I think it was a far smarter idea.
Your garage is not AC'd.
No.
Whoa.
It was a stupid idea, but I still did it.
Do you know how hot it was in there? Do you have any idea?
Hot as balls, I believe, is what the thermometer said.
Oh, it was HAB. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How long did you do that? How long did you play
for about an hour?
An hour in that heat.
That's a hell of a workout, dude.
That is an amazing
workout. When I walked back in that house, man, it felt amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. I have nothing to say to you because you're alive, and that's a great workout, and it's better than I did.
It was stupid. I mean, you could say it. Steve, you were stupid. That's what I said to myself.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a thing if suddenly it's like, why couldn't Steve come in today? Well, heat exhaustion. Why? Because he drummed too hard.
Right.
On the hottest day of the year.
Well, dude, when you have an opportunity where you're home alone and you have nothing else to do, and it's just like, well, this is my chance to play the drums.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about following Tatum around because she's with mom and all that. So I was just like, well, this is go time.
Wow. I really wish I had something that physical that I would go to, because I go to other things that are not physical. Like, no one's around. Good. I'm going to go eat, or I'm going to go watch a show.
Oh, yeah,
I do nothing physical. So I'm not going to.
I work on my forearm strength, but that wasn't one of the things.
Well, there you go. Well, I wasn't going to bring that up.
How's that rowing machine?
It was too hot to do that, even though I still did that.
I was just going to say, Vicky.
TMI!
For a lot of us, it's never too hot to do that. But I'm glad to see you're part of the club.
I powered through.
Well, I bet was that an OnlyFans thing or just for you?
It was for me. I had the house to myself. My brother was at work.
Freedom. Well,
and I had the AC in my house, in my rooms. It was fantastic.
All right. Well,
but I mean, it's still not a great thing to do because you're still getting overheated.
Yeah,
be sure to hydrate.
You're in good climate, though. You're in climate-controlled situation. You're always going to get overheated, when you do that. At least you're not going to be overheated in massive heat.
Yeah, at least we're banging on the drums in a garage. And that's not a euphemism. That's the actual thing.
Yeah. Well, see, banging on the drums, maybe Steve, who knows? Who knows what the kids are calling it these days?
Yeah, right.
Someone said yesterday I spent 5 minutes replacing a garden hose and I was soaking in sweat.
Nope.
Yeah, I went home and I napped for 4 hours. I did not move, and it still somehow felt worse waking up.
Wow, yeah, because 4-hour nap, that's a lot of time to sleep. And then get up and be groggy. So I can understand that.
Later on in the night when it was in the afternoon when it was getting super hot, I had to go put out the garbage, and I was just putting out the garbage. I come back in, I'm like, never again am I stepping outside. It was insane. And then got a voicemail and also an email from my garbage company. They were like, hey, make sure your garbage is out at 6 a.m. because our garbage gets picked up today. And make sure it's out today by 6 a.m. because we're adjusting the hours so that our garbage men can take care of everything earlier in the day as opposed to when it's prime heat.
Oh, that's a good idea. As a matter of fact, I would be fine if they came at 5. I would not care because, that's tough work. They want to come at 4 a.m. to do it. That's fine. I put it out the night before, so I got no problem with that. Come at anytime. Yeah. Come at 3 a.m. if you want, as long as you can be cool.
Says the guy who gets up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's true too.
Well, I'm saying I wouldn't. Yeah, I love. Who cares if people get woken up? Every once in a while you got to make. If I didn't have this job, I would definitely make the sacrifice of hearing a little noise and waking up a little early so that people that are working outside would get to be cooler. You know what I mean? Come on. You're not going to complain about that one time of the year, are you? People.
Honestly, I was expecting when I got that voicemail, they were saying, hey, we're not picking up your garbage. So I would have been like, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It would have sucked, but I would completely understand. So coming a little earlier, that's easy. Yeah. Whatever they got to do. Man.
Someone says I clean porta potties. I put in a 12-hour day.
Oh, come on.
Man, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I just feel like, couldn't it wait one more day or 2 more days?
I don't know if you want to wait on those ones.
Yeah, really? Porta potties? Heat?
Well, I understand.
You got to take care of those things as soon as possible.
Considering the fact that vinyl siding in Portland was melting, could you imagine if a porta potty melted that was full?
That'd be epic.
It is an interesting thing when things are built and they don't take into account certain extreme situations because they feel like they'll never happen. I know in California there are a lot of places that really have a hard time dealing with the rain. And my brain goes, why would you build a place that can't handle rain? Where the rain's going to come down and water's water, so make sure everything is cool. And they're like, well, we don't get a lot of rain. Why do we worry about it? And then next thing you know, there are leaks in ceilings, there are floods, and it's just like, this is crazy to me because we're so used to the rain, we make sure of it. And now here we are with vinyl siding, bubbling, and things that we have that we would never have to worry about, but they don't install in the real super hot places for that reason. So look at us. The whole world's changing, man. I can't handle it. Hey, we got 2 dudes that just did a road trip to recreate an iconic scene from a movie. And it's completely ridiculous. You hear what they did at 7:19. On The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Your kids will be saying,
"Please 5 more minutes. I can't believe I did that."
And,
"Look how high I can bounce."
Spring Free is the world's safest trampoline, the place where stories are made. The innovative design boasts no springs, so you know you're safe. Go ahead and create the greatest stories you'll tell your friends. We're back in stock. Get it while you can. To learn more about the world's safest trampoline, visit springfreetrampoline.com.
Mom, come watch us.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. These two dudes I'm about to tell you about, man, they really went on a man mission. This was pretty extreme, but also impressive. I don't know if you remember the famous mini bike ride from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Harry and Lloyd, who, of course, Jeff Daniels, Jim Carrey. What they did is, in the movie, they rode from Nebraska to Aspen, in Colorado. They did that on a pull-start mini bike.
Oh, yes.
So these two dudes said, you know what, man, we're going to do that. They recreated the bike as faithfully as they could. They actually gone on it together and took off and did the trip. They started in mid-April because they wanted to match the weather of the movie. And by the time it was over, they drove 382 miles over 3 days, rose 15,000 feet in elevation, went through 2.5 rear tires.
Yeah, because they're on the same bike together. Like they're riding, together.
just like the movie.
Yeah.
Wow. And they spent this whole trip, it just cost them $22 in gas. And they averaged 54 miles per gallon. I bring that up because in the movie, Lloyd says the hog would get 70 miles per gallon.
Oh, well, they lied to us.
Yeah, so, but still, this is nuts. And you can see the video on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com. Of course, because they recorded the whole thing. They wrote about the trip. They even recreated the scene where Harry tells Lloyd he traded the van for the mini bike.
Harry! Wait up!
Got room for one more if you still want to go to Aspen.
Where did you find that?
Some kid back in town. Traded the van for it straight up. I can get 70 miles to the gallon with this hog.
You know, Zach, just when I think that you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
You want to go to Aspen? Oh, yeah!
I don't know why, but that just gave me goosebumps. I'm looking at these two guys. They're just such dorks that I love it.
Yeah, these guys are totally dorky, but amazing.
Like my kind of dork. Like that's something I would totally be down to do.
Right?
Yeah, it is. It's amazing to think that you could take something like that from your favorite movie and actually do it. And of course, you've got a buddy that's going to do it with you, which really is what Dumb and Dumber is all about. I mean, it really is just about, no matter how much of an idiot your buddy is, if he's your best buddy, it's like that's your life right there.
Yeah, it's a great nod to friendship. And these guys are exactly that. Like, that's so cool. And I call them dorks as a dork myself. Like, that is something I would totally love to do.
That's pretty amazing. It's very, very amazing. Recreating the entire trip to Aspen on a mini bike. Those two dudes doing that. And again, you can catch the video on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com.
Now, it's the lukewarm topic of the day.
All right, so that's what those two guys did, recreating the famous mini bike ride from Dumb and Dumber. Based on this, we want to know, what is something that you did all because you saw it in a movie or a TV show? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. What is something that you did all because you saw it in a movie or a TV show? We got your calls, we got your texts at the Three Doors Down on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. You got to check out the video on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com, where you'll see two dudes that recreated the famous mini bike ride from Dumb and Dumber. They did the whole trip on a mini bike. It's pretty epic. They went from the full destination that the movie recreated, from Nebraska all the way to Aspen, Colorado. They took that trip on a mini bike, just like the one in the movie. And we're wondering, based on this, what is something that you did all because you saw it in a movie or a TV show? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Somebody said my friends and I used to ride in shopping carts and crash into things because of the show Jackass. I feel like there's going to be so many people that have done things because of Jackass.
That's so true. Oh, that is so true.
Right? I mean, it's just like all the stupid things, because it's everything that they did was very doable, which is scary because we all have access to a shopping cart. We all, these are things that you could just, they say don't try this at home, but it's like everything that they did is at our home's disposal. Like you can do it.
I have to say, for me, it was a radio show that actually, had me doing stuff that I was like, all right, well, I guess, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And like, I couldn't believe some of the things we did on the Buzz, basically because it's like, once I saw how Tom Leykis put on a party, it was like, well, we have to put on parties like this. I had never had listener parties that way before.
Yeah.
And we had to put on parties like that. And only because I saw Tom do it. And I had conversations with Tom, and I'm going, Tom, wait a second. This is, and he's like, yeah, this is what you got to do, buddy. This is who we're serving. We're serving the people.
It was like 16 years ago. Day 3 of my internship was a Tom Leykis listener party, and I was like, you know what? I like radio.
There's boobies and everything.
There is.
And I remember just going, are you sure? It's like, all right, because I just had never done anything like that in my career before, just having those wild and crazy parties that they used to have. And if not for knowing Tom, I don't think I would have ever done it. I just wouldn't have. But I was there. I saw it happening, and I'm like, okay. So really, based on a radio show, I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to do that. And boy, oh boy, that was woo. Well, like you said, Rev, it was an adventure.
Oh yeah.
So I said, my brother and I, after watching the movie The Natural, we went to the woods, and on a property, we cut a big branch, whittled it down, sanded it, and made our own bat, just like Wonder Boy bat in The Natural.
Whoa, cool.
Wow.
It actually broke the first time we used it and actually hit a ball, though.
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Didn't have the special magic that bat had.
Yeah, I guess there's a little bit more to it, to make him a bat that can stand up against a 90-mile-an-hour fastball or whatever. Damn. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. What is something that you did all because you saw in a movie or TV show? Rev, I feel like you're the kind of guy that would do something stupid because you saw it.
Yeah, and it wasn't so much like the Jackass stuff, but it was actually a little bit before that, and Steve might know as well as me, is the wrestling, and so much more the backyard wrestling, where we would just go, and usually with my cousins, and it would give me a reason to beat my cousins up, because we would do it for wrestling, and, body slams and suplexes and all the ridiculousness.
Did you have a backyard name?
Oh gosh, no. I don't even think I even got that far. It literally was just a reason to beat up my cousins because I was a jerk.
Most yarders, they had backyard names.
Yarders?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't even call ourselves yarders.
I was Steve Thunder.
I was going to say, was this during your mullet days, Rev? Because you could have been the mullet of malice.
Oh, wow, yeah. It actually was, yes. The mullet of malice.
I love it.
Wow.
I've lost connection to the phone line, Steve. Is there anybody there that you want to?
Looks like we have calls. Rev has.
Yeah, we got line 1 is Paul.
Oh, let's go to Paul. Paul, you're on the Rock.
Greetings, fellow A-Coles.
Hey, Paul, welcome to the show. What you got for us, buddy?
Well, my buddy and I, we recreated the scene from Mary Poppins and decided to jump off the roof with an umbrella. Well, my buddy jumped first, and he broke his leg, and I was like, F this, I'm not jumping.
That's why you never go first.
Yeah, never go first.
Yep, that's why I dared him to go first, and he said, yeah, I'll do it. And he jumped, and sure enough, shattered his leg.
Oh, damn, dude, that's a beating.
Did he get in trouble with his family?
Excuse me?
Did he get in trouble with his parents?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he was called a dumbass and everything else. And it's like, why'd you let him jump? I'm like, well, we saw it in the movie and we could try it. And yeah, it didn't, fail.
Why did you let him jump? Because I'm the smarter of the two. We both wanted to, but I let him jump first because I'm the smarter of the two.
Yeah,
exactly right.
I was next, but I decided not to after my friend just destroyed his own legs.
Yeah, exactly. 206-421-ROCK, Texas at 77999. Tom in Auburn, you are on the Rock.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Welcome to the show. What you got for us, buddy?
So it wasn't anything crazy like riding shopping carts or jumping off the roof with an umbrella, but I'm kind of an obsessive Superman fan. And when I was in high school, Smallville was just starting to come on air. I was sophomore when it first aired, but I loved Michael Rosenbaum's Lex Luthor so much, I actually shaved my head.
Whoa!
And kept it shaved.
So you're in high school. You were in high school and you went with a total shaved head look.
Yeah.
What? How did people react to that? Because I mean, you don't see too many bald people in high school.
Oh no! Well, especially because I was in a small town. I was like the only diehard geek there, so like people thought I was crazy. Except for my wrestling coach, because he was bald, so he thought it was cool.
He thought it was cool. Fellow bald guy.
That's you know what I have to say. I mean, as much as I've been a fan of a lot of stuff, I don't think I'd go that far. No. I love a lot of. I mean, I don't even have tattoos, and you think at least I would get some sort of geek tattoo, but that's pretty intense to shave your whole head because you love the. And look, Michael Rosenbaum's Luther was great, so I mean, I can't blame him for loving the character.
So when I was 7, Karate Kid 2 just came out on VHS, and it inspired me to kick our back door open. Well, I missed the support frame, and I put my foot through the window. 15 stitches.
Oh, no!
Kicking down a door was always something I always wanted to do. I never did it. Because I knew, like, hey, when I had my own home, why am I going to kick down a door? That just sounds like a really stupid idea. It's going to cost money. And back when I lived at home, my parents, if I try to kick down a door, then I have to deal with my dad kicking down my head. So I decided not to do it.
You know, I mean, I lived in a pretty cheap house, so and there's hollow doors, and I never realized there were any other kind of doors but hollow doors. So you might have a shot at doing it those hollow doors, but if you have a decent thickness door, which is good for privacy, and then I realized when they made those, I'm always going to have these because it's actually quieter, and the kids can't hear you, maybe you can't hear them.
No.
But yeah, I mean, kicking down a solid door, dude, you are going to wreck yourself if you don't realize that that's what's happening.
Or I always want to get like in the cartoons, the big, like I don't know why I have like a giant tree just down in my disposal, but a few of us with like a giant log.
Oh, battering ram?
Just batter it. That would be so much fun. I should start making like a notes file of things I want to do before I'm done.
Oh, you want to be part of a battering ram situation?
Yes.
Your destruction bucket list, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. The destruction bucket list.
There's a shock. Mr. Destruction wants a destruction bucket list.
And I've seen pictures before on how you're supposed to actually break down a door. Like you're supposed to drive your heel that's standing on the ground, firmly on the ground, and then kick near the lock. So don't kick on the actual lock or on the bottom part.
Don't kick the knob.
Don't kick the knob. Kick next to the knob, and you have to lean into the kick. Don't use a jump kick, and don't use your shoulder because you will get hurt. So if you ever want to, in case of a fire, an emergency, or drunken stupidity.
I was going to ask you, why would you even look that up at all right? That's, I guess, a reasonable.
It's also popped up as a meme before.
Oh, has it really?
Yeah, that's how I found it.
See that? I don't. I gotta do that.
I kind of want to. I want to kind of now see Steve try to pull like a drop kick, a wrestling move on a door, and see how that works.
That'd be awesome.
It would be amazing, no matter what happens.
Well, sometimes in wrestling now, instead of using tables, because oddly enough, like those old school tables, the wood ones aren't as easily accessible because now they make plastic ones, and they're not as much fun for wrestling. So now they've been using doors, and they just prop them up on chairs to put people through. Like the hollow type doors that you're talking about, BJ. And just on Friday night, one of my buddies did a match where that was involved, and I was so excited. He put the door through the other guy's head, and then his head came through.
Whoa!
And it was awesome.
What?
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, dude. That was just stock. It was so great.
Oh, man. And he didn't get hurt?
Well, I mean, he had a couple cuts on the forehead, but nothing bad.
Oh, God. Yeah, you guys, man, I take my hat off to you. I don't want the cuts to the forehead. I don't want any pain at all. Don't want any of it. Hey, what do you think was the top big life change that people made this year? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'll do that at 7:50 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How much does bankruptcy cost?
Usually with my office, we do a flat fee that includes all your court costs, filing fees, credit counseling, credit reports, and one cost. In Chapter 13 cases, that usually starts at about $900. With Chapter 7 cases, the total cost, including all your court costs, attorney fees, is usually about $1,500. We offer payment plans on Chapter 7, so you can start a file with my office for as little as $200. You can send your creditor calls to us. We'll take your creditor calls while you gather up your information and make payments on the rest of the fees. With Chapter 13 cases, we can make payment arrangements in most cases as well and get your case filed even sooner in a Chapter 13 case because of the reorganization aspect to it.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.